What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mid-Level Media channel, your hub for everything, and I do mean everything, physical media and entertainment. And the only reason I say that, guys, is because today we are here to talk about two new Visual Vengeance Blu-rays. We've got Abomination and Repligator. So both of these titles are due out on September the 26th. MVD actually sent these to me to review over a month ago. So it's taken me a while to watch both of these because I knew with this being my introduction to the Visual Vengeance label, I've never watched a Visual Vengeance Blu-ray before. With this being my introduction, I wanted to devote special time to both of these releases to be able to talk about both of these in an individual video because it's an interesting label. These are really cool releases and we'll get into some aspects of them that are really awesome. But they're not for everybody. That is for sure. They're not for everybody. But before we get into it, we're going to talk about the movie, special features, the packaging, everything that's in the packaging, all that stuff. Before we get into that, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We talk about physical media here on this channel. That is what we do. Blu-rays, 4Ks, only the movies that you love, all that stuff there behind me every single day here on this channel. So if you like that kind of thing, hit the subscribe button. And if you've seen either one of these movies before, let me know in the comment section below. Both of these movies were rescued from the VHS era. Neither one of these have been out on home video since VHS. So it is really cool what Visual Vengeance is doing, just restoring these lost films that, you know, otherwise, like who else is going to do these movies on Blu-ray? Maybe Vinegar Syndrome, maybe, you know, some of the other smaller, you know, horror schlock labels, but Visual Vengeance, look, are they doing the Lord's work? Some would say maybe they are, but some would say, no, we don't need these movies. They deserve to be lost in film history. So definitely let me know your thoughts in that comment section below. But look, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by talking about the Abomination right here, because this is the one that I just got done watching. And look, the thing you have to understand about Visual Vengeance, this label, and these movies is they're not what you would call traditionally good movies. These are not horror classics by any means. They're very small, low budget movies, you know, from the 80s and 90s. This was actually shot on Super 8, so it was shot on film, but a very low quality of film. And they did the transfer from the source of the VHS tape. So the quality on this release right here on Repligator, they're not great. They're not great quality. They're not coming from the original film negative or anything like that. They're coming from the VHS tape, and it's an SD transfer that's put on a Blu-ray disc. So don't expect HD quality here. Don't expect high quality at all. These are very low budget, shot on home video looking movies that you have to kind of get in that mindset when you're watching these films. Now, all that being said, just watching this as an actual film, did I enjoy it? No, I did not. I did not like this movie at all. I didn't enjoy the lead actor. I didn't enjoy the narration. All the narration and stuff that was going on at the very beginning of the movie, probably the first 30 minutes of it. It was very jarring. It was very disjointing, just the way they set it up. Especially in the beginning, it's almost like they gave away the entire film in the first 2 to 3 minutes. So I didn't like that editing choice. They shouldn't have done that because it sets up everything and lets you know what you're in for. And you can see all the highlights in the first like 2 or 3 minutes of this movie. So it's a weird story of this mom that has a tumor inside of her. She coughs up the tumor. It grows into this huge monster and it gets into the son. It infects him. And he's got a bunch of friends that are around him and they all start dying and he starts killing people because he thinks they're being infected with the Abomination, and the Abomination takes over the house. And it's a weird movie and it's a weird setup and it's a weird circumstances to watch it in this very low budget quality. Could this have been a better movie had it had a higher production value? Maybe, but I do think that the creature effects, the actual creature effects are pretty decent. You know, for this movie, there's a lot of blood, there's a lot of gore, especially in the final act of the film. The creature's taking over like all the house. He's like coming out of the cabinets, he's coming out of the toilet, he's like coming out of the washing machine. So the creature is actually well done, and I could see a better movie in here if it had a higher production value. But I don't know, there's just a lot of things that I just couldn't get into. It's a very slow moving movie, and it just didn't capture my attention, you know, with the actual premise and the pace of this film. So this is bad to me, just bad on so many levels. But there's definitely an audience here for these type of movies, guys. People that do go back and enjoy these types of films, and I'm sure remember and can appreciate these films for certain aspects. But yeah, I didn't enjoy this one. I thought it was extremely boring, to be honest. And given the fact that there's a monster taking over the entire house with blood and stuff flying everywhere and people are dying, there's deaths, that's kind of bad when it can't even excite me or hold my attention with all that stuff going on. You know, that's not great. So I didn't love this movie, The Abomination. Again, I'm going to be honest. I'm always going to be honest with you guys. But look, let's get into the actual release itself, because this slipcover is freaking awesome. The artwork is incredible. And I know a slipcover doesn't make a bad movie good, but this is awesome packaging. Visual Vengeance definitely puts a lot of work into these releases. And yeah, right there, guys, you got the synopsis. You got the special features down there at the bottom, which we'll get into, and all the specs at the bottom. And like I said, this is a new producer supervised SD master from the original tape source that came out, I imagine, back in 1986 when this movie came out. There are tons, guys, tons of new special features here. What Visual Vengeance does with their special features is like second to none. Like, the special features on these releases are ridiculous, which is really extraordinary. It should be applauded in the era of, you know, studios not wanting to do anything new as far as special features. You have these little boutique labels that are putting out these crap movies with extraordinary special features. There's an interview with the director, Brett McCormick, that is over an hour. It's 72 minutes long, which is just incredible. There's 2 actress interviews with 2 of the actresses from the film. There's an interview with the original VHS distributor, Michael Jack Scholl, as well, which is very interesting because he talks about the history of these movies on VHS tape and his role in that. You got filming locations, you got Super 8 outtakes and raw footage, you got behind the scenes, the stairway, behind the scenes tumor test. You also have the director, Brett McCormick's original Super 8 films that he shot, so some stuff that he shot before making this movie. So just all kinds of stuff. Brett McCormick trailer archive. So it's just incredible. And let's get into the actual release itself. Take the slipcover off. And underneath, guys, you have different artwork underneath. So you have 2 new pieces of artwork with this release, which is just incredible. And I'll show you the front right there and show you the back. And I'll zoom in on some of these images, guys, just to give you an idea of what you're in for. There are some cool sequences in here. There are some cool effects. And like I said, for the budget of this movie, which I'm sure was like maybe $2.50 or something, like $2.50, this is some really good effects work. So you got to give them credit for that. Open it up right here. On the inside, you got some cool disc art right there. There is reversible cover art as well, which is the original theatrical poster. Or not theatrical poster. This movie was not put out in theaters, but the original VHS tape poster right there. So some really cool stuff. And opening it back up, like, this is just crazy what they're doing with these releases. Like, all kinds of extra stuff on the inside. You have these stickers right here. I don't think they're exclusive to this release. But you have this little brochure thing right here, The Abomination, which is pretty cool. And I'll kind of try to show you all that the best I can. Show you the back side. So yeah, all kinds of information on the film and that. And you even have a comic book. They put a little comic book based on the movie inside of here. So that's definitely really awesome. Just all kinds of great stuff in here, guys. Like, this is crazy. Like, if the movie was better, this would be like one of the best releases of the year. So yeah. And then to top it off, you have a poster. So you have a poster of the, you know, one of the commissioned artworks, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, you get a poster, you get a comic book, you get a little pamphlet, brochure thing, you get stickers. Like, they really go all out. And the disc art is awesome as well. They really go all out with these releases. But like I said, don't expect like this great restoration. You do have a 2.0 mono track for the sound, but I thought the sound was good. But again, this is a home video. This is a home video horror movie. Very, very, guys, emphasis on very low budget. There is an audience for this kind of stuff though, guys. If you like this kind of low grade B-horror schlock from the 80s and 90s, you may enjoy this movie more than I did, but I just didn't find this one to be all that good. Outside of these special effects, which were pretty impressive, I didn't really enjoy this one all that much. And this one's going for $24.48. And let's go ahead and get into Repligator, guys. So I watched this one over a month ago, so I'm going to try to piece together my thoughts on the movie based on what I remember. I actually did enjoy this one quite a bit. Again, another very goofy premise. This one was actually shot on film. It wasn't shot on Super 8, so the quality of this looks substantially better than the Abomination. You can actually see and make out stuff, and it actually feels like a film. Now, it is still sourced from the original VHS tape, so it's not a film transfer or anything like that. New director supervised SD master from the original master tape, so it is still very low quality, but it feels a lot more cinematic, a lot more legitimate as an actual movie or film. Than the Abomination, which just straight up looked like a home video. But it is the same director that did this movie, Brett McCormick. And yeah, it's a goofy sci-fi horror premise about these, it's like this like military research facility, and they're experimenting on these soldiers, and they accidentally turn them into women. They're trying to create super soldiers, and they accidentally turn them into women who are like sex crazed and horned up and wanting to have sex with the military officers and the scientists that are on base. But there is that kind of low budget, like almost softcore porn quality to the film. It doesn't completely go there like some of those movies do, but there is definitely a sleazy nature to this movie. So the girls are walking around, and when they actually have sex with the military officers or the scientists, they turn into these, crocodile, alligator type monsters, and then they go around and kill people and bite their heads off and stuff like that. So it's a very ridiculous premise, and it does go for that kind of B-movie kind of schlocky goodness, but I found this to be incredibly enjoyable. And you do have Gunnar Hansen in this film for a very small part. So that's cool that you have him, the original Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But yeah, I found this to be very enjoyable. None of the performances are great or anything like that, but it's a fun movie, and I thought it moved a lot quicker than the Abomination. So I had a lot of fun with Repligator. But getting into the actual release itself here, you look at that great artwork right there of the Repligator himself. Looks like Gex Enter the Gecko kind of a little bit, but really great artwork. And I do want to note that this is a numbered line, and this is Visual Vengeance number 9, and the Abomination was actually Visual Vengeance number 10. If you are a collector, I know some people get OCD about collecting for these lines. They got to get every single numbered in that line. So yeah, and we'll flip to the back right here. You got some cool stuff on the back. You got some images from the film, the synopsis, all the special features, which there are some incredible special features in this release, guys. Visual Vengeance, they spare no expense when it comes to the special features. You have some archival stuff here, making of archival documentary. You have a Brett McCormick interview, the interview with the director, original deleted scenes, deleted opening. You have all kinds of new 2022 interviews with Brett McCormick, producer Wynn Weinberg. You have actress Brink Stevens interview from 2022, actor Carl Merritt interview from 2022, actor Randy Clower interview from 2022, original VHS trailer, Visual Vengeance trailers, limited edition slipcase. It's so much that they put into these releases. It's ridiculous. Like the studios and even some of the boutique labels can't put this much effort into their releases, but Visual Vengeance is just going all out with these releases right here, and I definitely think that should be applauded. So we'll go ahead and take this out of the case, and you got new artwork on the actual case cover, which is freaking awesome. I think that's probably the best artwork in this release right here. Very cool. Flip it to the back, and you got all the same information there on the back. But opening this up, guys, this is really awesome because you do have some X-ray glasses in here. Which, look, let me open these. Let me put these on. I'm going to try these X-ray glasses on right here in front of you all. Let me take my glasses off and put these on. Should I do the rest of the review with the X-ray glasses on? I'm going to try. I'm going to attempt to do that. Things are getting really weird in this video, guys. But yeah, and you got some cool disc art right there. And then you flip it. Let's see if I can see. And I imagine this is the original VHS poster from back in the day, which is that's what it looks like, guys. When they turn, it's just a female body with an alligator head. It's very ridiculous. You can see it right there as well. So very, very ridiculous. But let's see all the different stuff. You got more stickers in here, which are cool. You got this little card with some information about the movie on it, which is cool. And you got this poster. So yeah, like I said, they go all out with these releases. Just fun little add-ons in here. So I think it should be celebrated, guys. I don't think the movies are great, and I didn't particularly enjoy Abomination at all. But I did think Repligator was a lot of fun, and I think that these movies do have their place. And I think it's really cool what Visual Vengeance is doing, just restoring these films and putting them out with these cool special editions. So look, I honestly, at the end of the day, I would recommend both of these just for all the special features, because even for really bad movies, it is cool to dive into them and figure out how and why they were made and the thought process behind them. And you get tons of special features just explaining that. And I do find that very fascinating. So even though I didn't enjoy the actual movie, I think all the behind the scenes stuff and the special features and everything you get in this release makes it worth it. So I would recommend both of these. And Replicator is actually only, I think, $21.99 right now on Amazon. But I will link both of these down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching my review of these two Visual Vengeance titles. I'm surprised I was still able to wear these x-ray glasses the whole time. I can see you guys. I can see through the camera to the door to my room on the other side. So these work. These absolutely. So this is worth it, guys, for the x-ray glasses alone. Thank you all for watching this very ridiculous review of the Visual Vengeance movies, Blu-ray releases. They're both available on September the 26th. Thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and follow me on all my social media accounts down below in the description. And we'll see you next time.